All right, so Brian and I have not made a video on this channel in like years. Like it's been probably 7 years almost, and a lot has changed. A lot hasn't changed, but a lot has changed. Brian's now a dad of two little boys, and I just recently became a dad of a little boy. And the channel has just kind of existed in this nebulous, right? So we almost like forgotten forever in a way. It was in a lot of ways a test for us, or kind of an opportunity, I guess, rather for us to get together and to talk through video games, things that we liked, and we've been talking a lot about revising or reviving it kind of over the last couple of years. We've talked about it, and it kind of was all based around like me finishing my basement, which that's where I'm in right now, and having a spot where we could come down, sit down, and talk through what we wanted to chat about. And there's a lot of ideas that were left on the table. There's a lot of great video content that we had that we never just kind of finished or wrapped up. And now that we're both roughly like half an hour away from each other now, which is great. It's kind of given us an opportunity to build the channel into what we maybe originally were hoping or kind of dreaming it to be. And what that is a kind of podcast video format where we'll both actually be sitting back here in kind of this corner, and we have some cool ideas for it. Like right now, it's just like a lot of stuff just thrown together. This is mainly all my stuff. I mean, the N64 games are Brian and I's, plus some that I've built up over time. But there's going to be a format for the between the two of us, or kind of a video podcast. We'll be sitting talking through a lot of stuff. And a lot of different gaming ideas, but also tying back to longevity and fitness. And I think that's kind of the differentiator, and more of our niche is fitness. Like we've always been into sports, we've always been into weightlifting and health and fitness. And more recently, I did a fitness challenge and kind of got in like the best shape I've been in for probably 10-ish years or so. And it was fun and it was exciting. And we've talked about kind of building onto kind of the nerdier side of that, which is like maybe some anime fitness programs and tying in, even if it's just a workout or an exercise. I'm building a home gym in my garage. And so I think we're looking at doing like Saturdays, having a sit down, talking through video game topics, wherever we decide to chat through that day, and then hitting a workout and having one or the other person lead that workout and incorporate that into kind of a hopefully a community around maybe other dads who are, we're pretty strapped on time, but how important it is for us to take care of our physical bodies and our mental state, and ensuring that we still get to do our hobbies, things we love, video games, that kind of stuff, but also focusing on our health and longevity so that we can do this for a long period of time, so we can live forever, we can pass this down to our kids. And anyway, this is just kind of like a shotgun approach to an update on the channel. I have some equipment coming. Brian and I will both be sitting, like I said, in the corner back here. We have a couple more prop things to set up that we'll be working through that we're excited for, but we're just going to do it, and it'll get there eventually, right? But if we wait forever for all of our setup to get to where we want it to be, then we'll never start. So that's kind of why I'm doing this quick little video update. And again, like I said, I'm a dad now. I just had a kid. My wife and I did a month ago. And so life is insane. It's crazy, but making time for things that we care about. And it's time to create. It's time to get the channel going again. And I have a lot of Sean's Corner ideas. I've been into like minimalism and digital minimalism on and off for the last several years, really focusing more on curating a collection. Like it's so fun to see when we started the channel, like even back in 2018 is kind of when I started buying and selling video game stuff, and grabbing my old N64 collection and building upon that. I mean, I had dozens and dozens of NES and Super Nintendo games and way more N64 games that I have now, but I've been able to sell off a lot of that and kind of curate that collection and kind of pare it down into what really matters. And I think that's really a lot what I want to get behind and talk about. Is like physical media is so great, being able to kind of digitally minimize and focus on less physical possessions, but it's almost like you're enjoying less more. And I have a lot of topics and ideas, so I won't get into it too much. But Brian and I will kind of expand more on childhood memories, talking through old games that we played through, games we played, retro games we played since then that we never got to play back in the day. When we started our channel, it was like early Switch days, and Brian was the one. He was hype train with the Nintendo NX and that leading up to the Switch reveal and Breath of the Wild, and he's really the one that got me into the Switch. I kind of given up on Nintendo for a long time, and only would go back and maybe play like my Nintendo 64, sometimes maybe GameCube. But the Switch is, I think, for a lot of people, the Switch has kind of revived their love for gaming. For me, I play almost exclusively handheld portable because I can do it with my wife or with family, and I don't have to be like in a designated gaming space. So yeah, there's a lot to talk through, and now the Switch 2 is coming out, and we're kind of excited to ramp up our content creation and build a community. Like I said, not so focused on gaming. There's a lot of people that do that, or not so focused on fitness. There's a ton of people that do that too, but kind of meshing the two and helping people understand the importance of a balanced life between the two things, and you not over consuming in one or the other, and not going overboard in one or the other, but finding that balance. So that's what we hope to be able to accomplish, and we're excited to kick it off. Hopefully within the next month, we'll have our first kind of sit down podcast, and then we'll just kind of build from there. So there's a lot of ideas in the works. There's a lot of, it's been a long time in the making, but we're kind of in a place where we can actually do it now and hopefully be able to be like successful, and successful meaning continue to make content. That's really what we care about. Just being able to sit down and chat as brothers, and hopefully build a community of people who are looking for that brotherhood, and share what Brian and I have, and kind of amplify that, because we can do that right with technology now. So that's it. And hopefully you'll see from and hear from Brian and I here pretty soon.